Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive, where we take a big stack of sources and we try to pull out those golden nuggets of knowledge.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into the world of AI.
Yeah.
Wow, do we have some interesting sources today?
It's going to be fascinating for sure.
We've got leaks about Google's Project Jarvis, which is like their ambitious new AI assistant.
Yeah.
And we've also got Penguin Random House taking a stand against AI learning from their books. So it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating landscape right now, full of possibility, but also a whole lot of questions.
Definitely. And the sources that we've got really paint this picture of an AI that's not just like answering questions, but actually it's taking initiative, anticipating our needs, even learning from creative works like literature. So it really begs the question, are we on the verge of like an AI revolution?
Yeah, possibly. And I think these Project Jarvis leaks give us a glimpse of what that revolution might actually look like. You know, this isn't just another voice assistant. Jarvis is designed to be more of a partner. It's going to proactively help you with your daily tasks.
Okay, so less, hey Siri, play my workout playlist, and more Jarvis saying, I know you've got that presentation tomorrow, so I've already compiled the key data points and drafted a preliminary outline.
Exactly, precisely. It's about Jarvis learning your preferences and anticipating your needs, not just waiting for a command.
Wow.
And you think about the implications of that. I mean, we're talking about an AI that could potentially manage your emails, schedule appointments, even do research for you.
That is a lot of trust to put in an AI, I gotta say. But I can see how this could be like a game changer for certain professions.
Absolutely. Imagine lawyers not having to spend all their time sifting through mountains of case files, or marketers having data compiled and analyzed automatically. This Jarvis could free them up to focus on the strategic and creative work that requires a human touch.
So we're not necessarily talking about AI replacing jobs, but maybe transforming them.
Exactly. Some roles might be displaced, sure, but new opportunities are likely to emerge. It's all about adapting and evolving alongside these technologies.
Right, and evolving. Okay, well, this is all very exciting, but let's be real. There are some potential downsides, too. The privacy implications alone are huge.
Yeah.
I mean, Jarvis needs access to your emails, documents, your entire digital life. What safeguards are there to prevent misuse?
You've hit on a critical point there. Google will need to prioritize security and encryption like never before. Think multi-factor authentication, really robust user controls, and, maybe even like a transparent privacy dashboard where you can decide what Jarvis can and can't access.
So it's about giving users control and transparency to build trust with something as powerful as Jarvis.
Absolutely. People need to feel confident that their data is safe and that they're in control of how AI interacts with their lives. If Jarvis feels intrusive or creepy, no one will want to use it.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked about Jarvis learning to work, but what about AI learning from creative works like books? Our other source for this deep dive focuses on Penguin Random House, and they seem to be drawing a line in the sand. They're adding statements to their copyright pages to try and block their books from being used to train AI.
And it all boils down to how this AI learns. Large language models, or LLMs, are the brains behind a lot of AI, especially things like chatbots. And they get smarter by analyzing massive amounts of text data, which includes books.
So Penguin Random House is concerned about their authors' work being used without permission to train AI. I can understand why they would feel protective.
It's more nuanced than that, though. There are concerns about control, attribution, and whether this falls under fair use. It raises questions about whether AI can truly be inspired by a work without simply just regurgitating it.
Right, that line between inspiration and infringement seems pretty blurry.
Yeah.
So is what Penguin Random House doing actually legally enforceable? Or is it more of a symbolic gesture?
Well, it's a bit of both, really. The legal framework around AI and copyright is still developing, so these statements aren't a foolproof solution. But they do send a strong message that publishers are taking this issue seriously.
And I imagine authors are paying attention too.
They are. In fact, author groups are pushing for stronger protections in their contracts. They want more say in how their work is used. This is especially important as AI gets more sophisticated and capable of generating text that's increasingly difficult to distinguish from human-written content.
It sounds like we're just scratching the surface of a very complex issue here.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? What does this all mean for the future of authorship?
That's exactly the kind of question we need to be asking. And that's what makes this deep dive so fascinating, We're exploring uncharted territory here, and the answers aren't always clear-cut. I mean, it really makes you wonder, what does authorship even mean in the age of AI?
Right.
If an AI can write a novel that is indistinguishable from a human-written one, who gets the credit? Who owns the copyright? these aren't just hypothetical questions anymore.
No, they're not. You're right. And it's
Yeah.
not just about novels, right? What about screenplays, music, even paintings?
Oh, yeah.
AI is already creating art that rivals human creations. And that's bound to raise all sorts of ethical and legal challenges.
Oh, absolutely. And it goes beyond the question of ownership, What about the creative process itself?
Right.
If AI is doing the heavy lifting, like generating plots, composing melodies, or even writing code,
Yeah.
what role do humans play?
Right.
Are we simply curators just selecting the best AI-generated output, or is there still like a spark of human ingenuity that AI just can't replicate?
It's almost like we're moving from a world where AI is a tool to one where it's more of a collaborator,
Yeah.
maybe even a competitor.
Right.
It's exciting and a little bit unsettling all at the same time.
It is, and I think it's crucial that we have these conversations now while AI is still in its relatively early stages of development.
Yep.
We need to figure out how to balance the incredible potential of AI with the need to protect creativity, intellectual property, and even what it means to be human in a world where machines can create.
Okay, so we've covered Project Jarvis and the potential for AI to revolutionize how we work. We've talked about AI learning from literature and these really complex questions of authorship and copyright.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier, the idea of AI becoming more of a partner than just a tool.
Right.
What does that actually look like day to day?
Well, think about how we interact with technology today. It's mostly command-driven. We tell our phone to play a song, we type a question into a search engine, we click on a link.
Right.
But with an AI like Jarvis, the interaction could become much more conversational, even anticipatory.
So instead of me remembering to add milk to my grocery list, Jarvis would know I'm running low and add it for me.
Exactly. Or it might see that you have a meeting across town tomorrow and suggest leaving early to avoid rush hour traffic. It's about AI taking on more of the cognitive load, freeing us up to focus on things that require uniquely human skills.
Things like creativity, empathy, critical thinking.
Right.
That makes sense. But isn't there a risk of becoming too reliant on AI? What happens to our own problem-solving abilities if we're constantly outsourcing them to a machine?
That's a valid concern. Just like any tool, AI can be used for good or for ill. It's up to us to set those boundaries to make sure that we're using it to enhance our lives, not to diminish our own capabilities.
So it's all about finding that balance, embracing the possibilities of AI while also staying aware of the potential pitfalls.
Precisely. And I think, as with any new technology, it's critical to have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications, the impact on society, and how we can shape its development in a way that benefits all of humanity.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And that's what these deep dives are all about, right?
Exactly.
Staying informed, engaged, and asking the tough questions. Because the future of AI isn't something that's just happening to us.
Yeah.
It's something we're actively creating together.
Well said. It's a future full of possibility, both exciting and challenging. And the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to navigate that future wisely.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
From Google's Project Jarvis to Penguin Random House's stand against AI learning from books. Seems like the world of AI is changing faster than ever.
It really is. And raising some, truly fascinating questions about the future of, everything work, creativity, even what it means to be human.
Right. So what does all this mean for you, our listener? How comfortable are you with an AI like Jarvis, managing your tasks, having access to your personal data, essentially becoming like a digital partner in your life?
Yeah, it's a question worth pondering.
Definitely.
And what about the idea of AI learning from literature? Does that feel like a natural progression, or does it raise concerns about the future of authorship?
Yeah, the value of human creativity. Exactly.
These aren't easy questions to answer, but they're questions we all need to be asking ourselves, right? Because one thing is for sure, AI is here to stay. And its impact, it's only going to grow.
It is. And the more we understand about AI, the potential, the limitations, the ethical considerations, the better equipped we'll be to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape.
We'll leave you with one final thought to ponder. If an AI becomes sophisticated enough to write a best-selling novel, a book that moves and inspires millions of readers, who owns the copyright?
Oh, wow.
Is it the AI?
Yeah.
The programmers? Or is it something else entirely?
It's a question that, challenges our traditional notions of creativity, ownership.
It really does.
And what it means to be human in a world increasingly shaped by AI.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of AI. Until next time, keep those brain gears turning,